What's up and welcome back to the Half-Assed Garage. Today we're working on this thing some more. The aftermath of the brake fluid, or transmission fluid spill is coming along. Cleanup efforts getting there quite a bit. And so I stuffed that little, just paper towel in it, and it just siphoned it all out. Most of it anyway, just capillary action, just brought it all up, dripped out. It's been a couple of days since I've been out here. The weather has sucked. I don't know, it's like one of those weird times of year where it's warm and then it's super rainy and cold, really congested, so pardon me. So today, I think the plan will be to get the carb off, remove the fuel pump, see if we can remove some exhaust manifold bolts enough to get a chain on it so that I can loop the chains around and then be able to pick it up, because I don't have a carb plate, intake plate, whatever you call it, bolts down on the intake manifold, and you lift it out that way. So that's the plan. When we get it out, we're going to pop off one of these valve covers and see if, pardon me, see if this might be a roller cam version. I don't think it is. I think it's just a standard old shaft rocker version, but you never know. We might get lucky and it is. I would say that's a long shot, but you never know. Being that this is a remanufactured engine, it could be a block from 72 to 96 or 3, what was it, 97? I don't remember when, but it could be this huge long span of time that they could use a block from, according to sources online. So I don't know, guess we'll find out. Anywho, I could probably see down inside of here, but if it's got a shaft, I might be able to see through that if there's a shaft on it. If a shaft rockers, then it's a hydraulic flat tap cam. If it has pedestal style, Chevy style rockers on it, then it is a roller, because that's how they do. Anyway, let's get to it. Next. So real quick, if we look down inside, I don't know if you can see that bolt. I can't tell where you can see, but that bolt, that bolt head that's right there, that looks suspiciously like it would be a shaft mount. That would be where the shaft, it's got like a keeper on top that holds the shaft down. So without taking it off, the valve cover off, I would say that that's pretty much a guarantee that it's a shaft mount style rocker, which would mean that it is a hydraulic flat tappet cam. So not too bad. I mean, it is what it is, but kind of a bummer. I mean, there still is a slight chance that I'm wrong, but 99.9% sure that just what I saw there, non-roller, but it is what it is. So we'll get to taking this thing out and go from there. So see you in a minute. The exciting life of taking an engine apart. This is why I don't show you most of this stuff. Boring. Boring. Come on. So that's what you miss most of the time. So anyway, I'll continue taking the stuff apart and get back with you in a bit. Okay, so I got the carb off. Yeah, cool. I haven't ever really worked on one of these before, quadrajets, so I don't know too much about these, to be honest. Those transfer slots are hugely open though. And look at them. Might be, I don't know, might be because of something that I knocked off of it or whatever. Yeah, maybe it's that. So, lots of stuff that I'm not used to seeing. I don't really work on these late 80s emissions vehicles too much. So I'm not sure what that is right there. Some type of emissions deal, I'm sure. Interesting. Intake air pressure sensor, maybe? I don't know. Some part of the EGR thing? I don't know. Check this thing out though. For a pretty, I don't know, I guess it's spec'd okay. You know, it had AC on it and all that. That's pretty nice. But man, intermittent wipers. I don't know how this got broke, but cruise control. I'm not sure if this is a aftermarket deal or what. I've never seen one that looks like this before, but I would imagine it's a factory option, because I can't really see somebody, you know, converting this, putting a bunch of time and effort into putting one of these on it. I don't know if that's factory or not. It just looks weird. It's kind of wobbly. It wasn't like that before. I don't know what happened. Maybe I bumped it with my leg or something and broke it. But doesn't it look kind of like something you'd buy off of like a TV, like infomercial or something like that? Just has that weird look to it. But, so, I think I'm going to have to build a carb plate for that and lift it that way. I think that's the best route to go. I'm going to measure that up and see if I have any steel that I can use. I don't think I have any plate to make that with. So, I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Anyway, just a little update. Neat things. Well, it's come to this. So, basically, every one of these bolts is a different size. See how they're just rusted down to nothing? So, the only one that actually came out was the front and the back. So, now it comes down to just grinding it apart. Can't do it with my left hand because I'm right-handed, and I can't really do it with you in my hand because, oh, look at all those shavings, it's going to blast all over you. So anywho, I have to grind all these off so I don't risk snapping the bolt off back in here into the head. So if I do that, then that means that I have to you know, do a lot of machine work on the actual head itself in order to remove those broken bolts I showed you on the other truck where they're all broken off. So I don't want to do that. I want to just be able to slide this manifold right off. I have to do that because one of the can't really see it, one of the motor mount bolts is stuck right behind this, so I have to get this off in order to get that bolt out. So anyway, die grinder, carbide burr, exhaust manifold. So I'll bring you back when I'm done. All right, so we have success. Man, there's a lot of crap on this thing. Oh, this late 80s, early 90s emission stuff is horrible. Look at how degraded all of this is. It's pretty horrible. So, when you're using a carbide burr, this is your best friend. A little pair of like super fine tweezers, because these little metal slivers just stick in you everywhere. There's one there. They're just everywhere, and they hurt like needles, like pieces of glass in you. So I'm gonna try to go over it with a magnet and grab some stuff, grab it out, and do my best to avoid being stabbed to death with slivers, steel slivers. So now we can look in there and kind of get an idea of what's going on. This will kind of give you an idea of what I was trying to avoid. Look at how terrible that is. You know, how they're just corroded off. So when these break, they always snap off like right flush against the block. And then they're a total pain in the ass to get, a pain in the butt to get out. You got to drill them and stuff. So my plan with these are hopefully to heat them up cherry red, you know, just like as hot as I can possibly get them, and then just grab some vice grips and try to work them around. That's basically it. You can do the 50-50 acetone ATF mix for kind of a homebrew penetrating fluid. That works really well too. I've used that quite a bit, and it seems to work just as good as PB Blaster or any of the other ones, but you know, we'll see. We have to chip away at this stuff and try to get a root so that we can get it to penetrate in. So once I get this out, clean that up with a wire brush and hit it with a whole ton of heat, and there we go. So that's that. Did plug it up a little bit, try to keep some of the filings out of it. But that's what we wanted right there. So now I'm going to grab my impact, zip that one out. I didn't show you the hoist, how I've got that hooked up now. So just kind of jammed her on in there. I didn't have a carb plate, so what I did was just hooked two lengths of chain that are identical in length together, looped it up, and then that's going to be my carb plate. So that should hopefully work alright. Can't really get a carb plate right now, so this is the best that I can do. Ow, damn it. Look at it. Friggin' metal sliver. See it? Ah, hate these things. So anyway, let me get that out, and then I'll bring you back when we're a little further along. Thanks. I know that doesn't look like much, that little spot of blood, and it's not, but it just kind of goes to show just how sharp those things are. Just sat my hand down and it started bleeding. It's like broke off in there. So the filings that carbide burr takes off are insane. So if you haven't seen a carbide burr, I'm sure you have, or a lot of you have. That's what one of them is. See the sharp edges on it? It essentially just scoops out razor blades the whole time, especially on these bolts here. It just creates razor blades. So that's how that goes. So wear some protective gear. You definitely want to wear eye protection when you are using one of those. Believe me, and one of those shards in your eye is unreal. So wear eye protection when you're using one of those carbide burrs. Well, you should wear it all the time, but you know, these are especially horrible. So that's the deal with that. These are awful, but that's what you got to do. So anywho, be back. Okay, so I have no promises as to how this video is going to come out because I can't see what you're seeing. But let's go ahead and try to lift this thing out. Hanging up on this. Oh, well, I was looking too far at the floor, so we're going to cut the floor out. Unfortunately, my battery-powered Sawzall is one of the old ones, and the batteries don't work in it anymore. The battery's for it. Old NiCad one. They're like $70 a piece. Well, this isn't gonna work though. Oh. This is why I don't like to take you places. Made some room, in case you're wondering. This is old school. 90s Craftsman. Oh, check it out. You can see the brushes sparking. I don't know if that means it's going out or... Can you see them? So I don't know if that means the brushes need to be changed. It might. I'll have to look up what it is. It ain't the greatest, but it gets by. It is some cheap. Housing's real cheap. It just feels cheap. You guys have already seen more of it than I have. It looks pretty good. And you've actually seen more of this than I have. It'll be good enough for tonight. It is pretty rough, pretty oily. So I'd like to find out exactly where the oil was coming from on it, but I'm not sure I could really diagnose it other than this area. So that's kind of it. Got a big old huge stack full of pulleys, lots of accessories and stuff. It's kind of neat. It's nice to have those extended pulley stacks like that in case you do want to run like 1,000 million things on it. This ran the smog pump too off of one of these, which I'm not going to be running, but if I ever can get an AC system for it, that'd be nice to have. So that's pretty good. Everything looks all right on it. Oh, I need to figure out what year the block is. That is over here. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. It's going to be casting, I think, right in here. But I'm pretty sure. I think that we can just see right now that that's a shaft. Shaft rockers. Let me get my flashlight. My old trusty $10 Army knockoff is all aluminum. What an awesome thing this is. I'm telling you, it's such a great flashlight. There we are. Shaft rockers. So unfortunately, wait a minute. Yeah. Yep, shaft rockers. Unfortunately, not a roller cam engine, so the date is pointless and useless to me. I don't care about it now because it's not a roller. Valves look all good. That one's open. So you can see this is a great example to someone that wonders, hey, my engine, I pulled it out 8 years ago. It sat in a barn or whatever. Should be great. You see how the valve is open? That one's closed, that one's open. Unless you loosen your rocker arms completely or totally tape off and seal the whole engine, I broke something, you're always going to have some cylinders that are open and they will rust. So just something to keep in mind if you're storing an engine for any period of time. Alright everyone, let me know down in the comments what you would like to see done with the engine. Performance wise, parts, during the rebuild. If you have any good ideas or you know of a killer setup or something that you've used in the past and you liked, let me know. Cam choices, heads, carb, different things like that. EFI, whatever it is. And if it's within the budget, I'll try to see if I can make some of it happen. I'll let you guys have some input into it. I don't know how many people watch the video, but always good to have some input, some brainstorming with some folks to see what we can do. There's not a ton of options for these 360s out there. It's either kind of like a stock replacement, a little tiny bit of a improvement, or they're crazy. So there's not really a ton out there option wise, but let me know what you would like to see done and we'll try to make it happen. So thanks again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.